Hey there, class. Mr. Prusky here. Hope you're having a good day so far. We're continuing with Chapter 10 here in Geometry. This is 10.7. The name of this lesson is Write and Graph Equations of Circles. Our essential question is, how do we write equations of the circles in the coordinate plane? So this is kind of a formula that will be important for upper level math. Circles have kind of a pretty unique kind of equation to them. The center and the radius is kind of what we base it off of usually. And yeah, we'll have some applications in upper level math here. So, excuse me. So the formula is this. It's right here in this box here. It says x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. The center is hk and the radius is r. Okay. And so, yeah, so that's kind of like identifying like what the center is and the radius is important. Also be careful too, because it's always minus in the middle here. And so, you know, if it's a negative number, you're going to be doing adding, right? Because it's kind of the opposite, or subtracting a negative is plus a positive. All right, if you want to try example 1 in checkpoint 1 before we get into this, feel free. Otherwise, we're going to go through it here. All right, actually, I'm going to write up here too. Let's write that better here. So for the circle formula, we need an HK and R for all these, okay? So for this one, we got to figure out like what the center is, and then we got to figure out the radius. So for this one here, where's the center of that circle there? Circle center is going to be our HK. It's going to equal 0, 0. That's the center. The radius of the circle is from the, is that all the way across or halfway across? That's halfway across. So if we go from the center to the edge, that's going to be 2 boxes. So the radius is going to be 2. So we're going to plug into our formula up here. So it's x minus h squared. So that's x minus, this is h and k, so x minus 0 squared plus y minus k with 0 squared equals 2 squared was the radius. And then like, what's x minus 0 going to be? And y minus 0, I guess. They're both just kind of the thing, right? So we can just actually just write like x squared plus y squared equals 2 squared is going to be 4. And that's it. I would say often, like unless the center is right at 0, 0, it's going to have something else in here. But for this one, we don't really need to have the minus 0 because it's kind of a redundant thing. All right. Feel free to try checkpoint 1 if you would like. Okay. So for this one, also be careful with this one here. I can kind of see that it's each box is a 2, so the scale is a little bit different here. Okay, so what's our HK for this one? The center of the circle. And remember, H represents the x coordinate of the center, and K represents the y coordinate of the center. So it should be a bit more clear there. Apologies. So again, this one's going to be 0, 0. It's the center of the circle. All right, it's the radius, because each box is 2. If we go from center to the edge there, it's going to be 2, 4, 6. Okay. So, and then if we graph this or write our equation, it'd be x minus the x coordinate is 0, the h squared, plus y minus 0 squared equals 6 squared. Sorry, there's a bell there. So that would be x squared plus y squared equals 36. These are, I would say, more exceptions here too to the rule. Usually you're going to have like x minus 2 squared, something like that. Just keep that in mind for this here, okay? All right. Example 2 and checkpoint 2 are kind of similar, but now they'll have some ones where the center is not exactly in the middle, which I think is more applicable here, okay? So it says write a standard equation with circle with 0, negative 5 as the center and a radius of 3.7 units. So we have our h and k, right? This is our r. So we have x minus h, so it's x minus 0 squared, plus y. Now it's minus negative 5. Well, actually, we're going to write that. Minus negative 5 squared equals radius squared, which is 3.7 squared. So kind of simplifying this a little bit, we just have x squared over here again, because the 0 cancels. But y minus negative 5 is going to become y plus 5 squared. And then 3.7 squared should be 13.69. It's 3.7 times 3.7. And that should be our answer. All right, feel free, excuse me, to try checkpoint 2 if you would like. See how you would do. All right, same thing here, center. We have h and k. This is r here. So we're going to write our equation. So it's x minus h. It's minus negative 3. So we're going to put plus 3 squared. Okay, kind of getting into that pattern there. Plus y minus negative 5 would become y plus 5 squared equals r squared. So 6.1 squared. And that's going to become, we keep the same one here, our x plus 3 squared, y plus 5 squared, equals 37.21. And that'd be our answer. All right, sounds good. Okay, for example 3, and I guess checkpoint 3, sometimes we are looking for the radius, as we're looking for, like, we're given different parts of the equation here. We're looking for different parts. So it says for this one here, the point negative 3, 4 is on a circle with center negative 1, 2. Write the standard equation of the circle. Okay. So in this case, we're actually going to have to solve for the radius. We don't know what that is. And we're going to use the different color here. We're going to use the distance formula for this. Okay, distance formula. All right, so actually we're looking for this distance here. We don't know what it is, but we can use distance formula, which is going to be, so the radius is going to equal distance formula, which is the square root, this is from a while ago here, x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So we got these 2 points over here. So again, we had negative 3, 4, and we had negative 1, 2. And so remember, we go like x1, y1, x2, y2. If you want to try to plug it in there and see how you do, feel free. Give it a little review for distance formula. All right, so for this, the radius is going to equal, let's make that a little bit skinnier here. So square root of, so x2 in this case was negative 1, minus x1 is negative 3, so plus 3 squared, plus, and then we have y2 is 2, minus y1 is 4 squared. Going to keep simplifying here. So we get negative 1 plus 3 is going to be 2 squared, plus 2 minus 4 is negative 2 squared. Keep the square root here for a while too. 2 squared is going to be 4, and also negative 2 squared is going to be 4. So for our radius here, we're going to get r equals square root of 8, which is kind of weird, but that is a possibility here. So we know r's square root of 8, and we know that our h and k, sorry, it's a little too big there. We know our h and k, the center they told us for this one was negative 1, 2. Okay, so now we can write our equation with this information here. So we're going to have in parentheses x minus h, which is negative 1, so plus 1 squared, plus y minus k, which is 2, so minus 2 squared, equals, and then our radius is square root of 8 squared, and that's a little bit tricky here, but you'll see in a second. Square root of 8 squared, right? When you square a square root, what happens? If I had the square root of 9, that'd be 3, and if I square it again, I get back to 9, right? So these are going to kind of cancel each other here. So our answer would be x plus 1 squared plus y minus 2 squared is going to equal just 8, and that'd be your answer. A little bit tricky there, but yeah, we're good. Okay, why don't you guys go ahead and try checkpoint 3. It's actually on the next page here. Feel free to give it a sec. All right, feel free to try checkpoint 3 if you would like. Okay, so for this one here, this is going to be hk here, this 3, negative 3. Oops. But it's also, we have our x1, y1, x2, y2. So we're going to have to find the distance formula again here. So the radius is going to be the square root of x2 minus x1 would be 3 plus 1 squared. And then negative 3 minus 2 squared. So that's going to be, we have in parentheses 4 squared plus negative 5 squared. So that's 16 plus 25, which is the square root of 41. So that's the radius. We also know that our h and k is going to be 3, negative 3. So we can write our equation now here. We have x minus h, which is 3. Squared plus y minus k, it's negative 3, so y plus 3 squared equals r squared, which is square root of 41 squared. These are going to cancel, so we get x minus 3 squared, y plus 2 squared equals 41. All right. Last two examples are going to be the other challenge problem in the back we're probably not going to do. First one, we're going to graph a circle now, okay? And so we'll try one together, and you guys can try one. So the equation of a circle is x minus 2 squared plus y plus 3 squared equals 16. So we need to figure out what our h and k is. That's too big. We need our h and k, and we need our r. So for this one here, remember it's x minus h. So if h, it's x minus h here, h would have to be 2. And y plus 3, remember if it's always minus, if it's plus, it's going to be negative. So it's going to be negative 3. And then this is r squared over here. So if r squared is 16, what would the square root of that be? It'd be 4. So our radius would be 4. So what I like to do for this, also these boxes here are each 2. Is we know it's at 2, negative 3, so I'm going to go right 2, down 3, that's the center. And I'm going to go 4 in every direction here. So 1, 2, 3, I'm going to go 4 up, 4 to the right, 4 down, and 4 to the left here. Just kind of like draw kind of some arcs like this to kind of show that's going to be a circle like that. And that's not done too bad there, actually. So yeah, that's going to be drawing a circle there, or sketching one. Why don't you guys go ahead and try checkpoint 4, see how you do. All right, so down here, same thing. We need to find our h and our radius here. So we got hk and our radius. So this one is going to be negative 2, this is hk, negative 2 and positive 1. And our radius, this is radius squared here. So square root of 9 would be 3. So we would go left 2. This is a 1 is our scale here, so we go left 2, up 1. Radius is 3, so we go up 1, 2, 3. We go right 1, 2, 3. Down 1, 2, 3. Left 1, 2, 3. And draw kind of our arcs here like this. And there's our circle. And I think that's all I had here. The challenge problem next page we did not do, so I think we'll leave it there for now. So thanks for watching. Have a great day, and we'll talk soon.